Smoke is still running, so that car is going to head right down to the pits. Doesn't look like a blown motor necessarily, but he's going to get told to keep it in the infield and don't put that stuff on the track.
51 of Skylar Shippey dove into turn number 3 and sent everybody in escape status trying to get away. And luckily, we don't have more damage to cars. Looks like a piece of Jeff Aslin's side skirting or something off the 7 is laying there in the center of turn number 4. Skylar Shippey down to the inside, still smoking. Track crew is going to go out and at least take an examination, make sure that we don't have anything. It looked like the rear axle is broken on the 51. It is definitely out of camber for sure.
Well, you don't know if that's a result of the smoke from underneath the motor or whether that was a result of contact afterward. There, as you say, a red flag on the track while we check on Skylar and check on the track as well. There is stuff. You can see the guys dropping the oil dry.
Boy, I'll tell you, middle indexing of that corner, turn number 3, and exiting turn number 4, not where you want to have a mix of fluid for
Tough
sure.
place because you're just getting set up to get off of 3 and 4 when you come into that area. It's going to be a little, I'd say, a little greasy just at the outset. They'll rub some of that stuff in and try to get it off the track. But we have the disadvantage of having had some rain and some thunderstorms over the last week or so. So a lot of the rubber that's on the track. And it's an old track. And there's a point that maybe a lot of people don't know because you can't see it from here. But if you see them, if you're living around here, you know they're doing paving on a lot of the main roads. It's nice and smooth, and it's all asphalt. Well, since 1973, so after 49 years, this is the same racing surface. That asphalt is gone, and the aggregate is there. So a lot of the guys really are racing on the aggregate, not on the asphalt per se. It looks like it from here, but you go down and walk the track, and add to that the fact that the track is separated in places, and there's a small lawn all the way around the track. I had a chance to really look at it when the Gear Jammers guys were here 2 weeks ago and spent some time in the infield talking to people and walking the track. And the banking is much more precipitous on foot going into 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And the track itself, it's a challenge for these guys to make sure that they hit the spots right, because there are some places where the track at its age can throw the car off its line a little bit. And guys watch for you to hit that and then take advantage of that opportunity. So you're running on, and so our tracks will have more aggregate than this showing through. It's even more of a challenge, and that includes some of those Major League NASCAR tracks. For sure, and we invite you to come down and you get a chance to actually walk and be on the track surface during our track party that we have here annually. We have the Big Wheel Race and some of the other events that take place, but the drivers, it's a chance for you to see the facility in a different light. Dave and I get to walk down to Victory Lane quite often, but such a beautiful renovation that the Wren family and the staff have done here. They've done such a great job. Victory Lane with the dog decal there. It was beautiful to see that during the Whalen Tour race here with the Duel of the Dog. Josh Veneta and his crew did such an exceptionally just a phenomenal job. They really took this track for what it is and enhanced what it is. And I'll tell you, talking to those drivers that day, they really love this high bank surface here. Well, they'll enjoy it a little bit more once we get back under green here. We bring out the safety equipment. We're going to roll that 51 up onto the flatbed, so it's not going to be dragged across the track and leave any more fluid there. You can see as he came down low into turn 3, just around where that blue marker rumble strip is just before the white line, just exactly when that blew, and then as he came down off the track, the oil slick followed him. And interesting to see where that blew out. He was still able to drive the car, so I'm wondering what actually blew if it wasn't the motor, because usually once it goes, you can't even drive it. Could have been a power steering. Who knows? That's been known to blow up like that. Could have been a radiator. Anyway, it takes Skylar out, and he's had some bad luck this year too. He's not been able to finish a few races. He's had some good runs, but they've had parts and pieces problems.
Yeah, the car looked absolutely beautiful. We were talking with Dad and Skylar down in the pit area earlier tonight. They said, yeah, it looked great until the right side door panel got roughed up at the Claremont Motorsports Park last night. By the way, Dave, Racers for Racers, Dick Williams and his crew put on a show last night. $15,000 on the line. And who wins it? Matt Hirschman.
No, big money Matt, of course. Who else is going to win it? Hey, we have some guys with us right now. Chris Allen, who is the voice of the Mudbogs. Come on over here.
How are you guys?
Nice to have you here. You get to hang out here once a month. We get to hang here every week. What's going on down at the south end of the Speedway this weekend?
Yeah, tomorrow's our day for once a month. We have a mud drag race strip right there behind turns number 3 and 4. We have everything from 3,000 horsepower vehicles down to your everyday drivers. Tomorrow is the Cindy Hall Memorial Mud Bog Race. It starts at 12 o'clock. I believe gates open up at 11. You're welcome to come in, walk through the pits, see all the cars, meet the drivers. It's a really great time. We're looking at great weather tomorrow for it as well. Some of the best weather we've had all year. We've been out there at 98 degrees, it seems, every time it's our turn for the month.
So I have a question. I've done a few mud bogs over the decades, but for folks who haven't been there, might want to spend a nice, pleasant Sunday down there. Take a look at some of the guys who can really turn a time. What kind of times? And then first of all, how long is the pit? How long does it take them to get through? That's the
It's 150 feet long. Some of the fastest times are just around 2 seconds. Yeah, it's amazing.
That's about the length of the front stretch.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, and we have about 600 feet of shutdown area. That's how fast. I mean, some of these cars, in that 2 seconds of the 150 feet, they're doing 120 miles an hour from 0 to 120 in 150 feet when they cross the finish line.
In mud.
I'm sorry? In the mud. Well, across the top of the mud.
Yeah, they hit the high points, right?
Yeah, the pit is about 2 to 3 feet deep. So when the trucks get out there with the ones that drove here with license plates, it's a really fun time. That's the best part, is watching those guys try and get through there. Very, very entertaining.
So, Chris, just one quick question here. You know, we met earlier today, and we were talking about different events that take place. This is a memorial race for someone who's really, truly special to the Mud Bog events here.
Yeah, the Hall family has been mud racing here for 36 years. 36 years,
That's
yeah.
Awesome.
They're a big part of what we do over there. And Cindy passed from breast cancer, I believe. Yeah. They're big on breast cancer awareness support, and there's usually some flags to give out and things like that to people in the crowd. We don't have stadium seating like you guys do here. So if you're going to come over and see us tomorrow, bring an easy up, bring your lawn chairs. As here, I think there's no outside alcohol permitted, but we do have a beer garden over there and concessions. Usually the same Kona ice cream truck man shows up.
Nothing wrong with good ice cream, bud.
Yeah, Sunday afternoon. Yeah, it's been getting us through all summer.
So I live just over the border, as most of you folks know, in Northfield. We get to watch those competition Jeeps, trucks, whatever they are coming in here. You have people that travel, Chris, from all over New England.
We have guys that come up here for the race once a month from Pennsylvania, Augusta, Maine, upstate New York, the Adirondacks. We have guys come down from Canada, from Quebec. Yeah, the crazy Canadians, we call them, when they show up. It's a great time. They think this is the Wild West compared to where they live.
The Wild West here at 840 Winchester,
well,
New Hampshire.
And as a matter of fact, the Cindy Hall Memorial, Cindy actually worked for us at the radio station in Keene for a bunch of years, so I kind of got to know her a lot better, and I've known, I guess I've known her husband Barry since I first started doing mud bogs at Cheshire Fair a long time ago, and they're dedicated to this thing. And if the fans don't go to any other mud bog, I'd say go see this one.
Yeah, this one's a special one for sure. And then I don't know what the sponsor will be for September, but then in October we have our Halloween Spooktacular, where everybody dresses their trucks up. The kids can go trick-or-treating through the pits. There's a costume contest for the children as well. So yeah, the October Spooktacular race is a really great time too.
And folks will have no excuse to not go because we aren't racing here on the oval by that time. We're done with our season a month before that.
Yeah.
So I'd say go and have a good time.
And go out and participate tomorrow. These guys do such a great job, such very hard work to put on such a great show. Chris, you and your team, they do such a great deal coming out there. Uh-oh, he's got a pitch.
Yeah, I just got informed. For you Speedway fans, if you show up tomorrow, keep your wristband on tonight. You're going to get $5 off admission tomorrow to the Mudslinger Series if you're wearing your Speedway wristband from this evening.
There you go.
Once again, 12 o'clock tomorrow, the Cindy Hall Memorial Mudbog Mudslinger Series, right over there on the drag strip behind turns 3 and 4. And we hope to see you there. Keep your wristband on, and you get a $5 off the admission.
$5 discount. Come see these guys. They do such a phenomenal job. Chris, thanks to you and your team for doing what you do down there.
Thank you, guys. We're looking forward to watching some good racing here tonight with you guys.
Now that we got it going, Chris Allen, voice of the Mudbogs here at Monadnock. Stop by, see him tomorrow or September or October. It's another part of the racing family here at Monadnock Speedway, and they'll be at our banquet when we have that too. If you're a fan and want to go to the banquet, information about that will be available in the months to come. Right now, we're getting the Speedy Dry cleared off a turn 3 and 4 transition. And get everybody matched up, lined up, and ready to roll here for their 25 laps. So we have nothing on the board right now because that blow up on the 51 happened as they were coming down to complete lap 1. So we go back to a complete restart with cars in the positions they started out in, minus the one car that obviously of Skylar Shippey will not be back out. Well, who knows? If it was just a radiator hose or something like that, maybe he will be.
You never know.
We'll find out. Stranger things have happened.
Advantage to McKnight. He's going to start back on the pole. Christopher Sontag to his outside, and these folks are ready to get going for sure. They may be doing a couple of courtesy laps just to make sure that that's racing surface where they're launching out of turn number 3 into 4 is not going to turn into a skating rink for sure. Rear-wheel drive versus front-wheel drive, David. Some of these guys get a better bite out of the front-wheel drive cars. Some tell you that the exit out of the corner. Okay, we're getting race control says both the 51 and the 24. So Skylar Shippey will not return, and neither will David Thibodeau. Tough break for Thibodeau. Traveling down here to the high banks, ready to compete with us tonight. So race control is saying the pace truck will be off this time by. They're going to double back up. We're going to try to get this 25-lap feature in the books tonight.
Go green for 25 would be a lot of fun now that we've had this delay. They're doubled up. Lights are out on the pace truck. Mike Parks will take that down into the pits as everybody else gets squared away, including our bad boys from the qualifying round. But 25 laps can get those guys to the top of the heap pretty darn fast.
McKnight sets the pace, coming to the backstretch down into the start zone. He'll have the challenge from Chris Sontag. Green flag is back out. Oh, McKnight jumps on the throttle and the car gets all kinds of squirrely. McKnight to the inside. Now Clayton dives to the inside of Christopher Sontag, looking to take second place away, but Gordon Farnham in the 46. He's got his nose wiggling around in that spot too.
Well, I'll tell you, now they string it out down the backstretch. McKnight's got that car squared away. Sontag running second, but the 46, if he's dialed in, he'll just go to the outside and go by everybody down into turn 1. The 46 of Gordon Farnham, your point leader, challenging for the national championship as well. dives in behind the 48, see if he'll lead him through as they come down to complete lap number 3.
Side by side, the 48 and the 12. Kevin Clayton going to take this top spot, get into second place, and then look for McKnight. But here comes the 46. Farnham drops the hammer and lands it into number 4 for the third spot.
Farnham able to carve his way through the field pretty quickly. Sontag staying with him. So is Aslan and Cameron Sontag. Louis Mayer, who won his qualifier, still sitting back there. He can't wait long to save the car, but he will be trying to save it and move it up. He sees some daylight underneath Cameron Sontag now on the backstretch. Can Louis drive it down in there and grab a spot? He does, moves himself into 6th. Coming off turn 4, it's Mayer 6th, back to 7th goes Cameron Sontag.
Now the challenge. Clayton has tightened that gap between him and the first place of the 76 of Kevin McKnight. And Farnham still sits there in 3rd, but Chris Sontag in the 12 right on his back bumper. Jeff Aslan in the 7 having such a great run after the first lap debacle we had in 3 and 4. McKnight would love to see victory lane. He's going to dig that 76 in, and right now hitting all his marks.
After the missing all his marks on the start, he's got the car working the way he'd like it to. Pulls it down off of turn 4. Good way to exit the corner. He's got that one figured out. If you can set your car up to get off of turn 4 low, you're in good shape to stay in a good position. Right now, he has some pressure, but not a lot of pressure as they complete 10 out of 15 laps. Field's tightened up.
And right now, the 46 of Gordon Farnham is turning the fastest laps. He's going to make the challenge on Clayton for sure as they come down the backstretch into 3 and 4. Not quite set up. Only 10 laps in. He may wait a while, Dave.
Well, he doesn't have to be up there in a hurry. He only has to win the last lap, as does anybody. But Farnham and the 48, both those cars are set up in the same garage by the same guys, as is the 69. They are teammates. So whatever one of them has, the other one sort of probably has, although I'm sure Gordon keeps a couple of secrets to himself. But they'll sit there and dog the 76 as they can. We've got a halfway mark here right now with the 76 on top. Look at the 48 now.
48 of Kevin Clayton. Oh, gets to the back. Oh, and turns McKnight. Contact between Clayton and McKnight. Heavy, heavy contact. Really upsets, and Gordon Farnham is the advantage taker of that lap.
Tough break for McKnight. There may be a penalty at the end of the race for that, and a warning from the starter. I'm sure folks over in race control had something to say about it. Meanwhile, Farnham's on top. He took that lead on lap 13.
You know, we've seen what we call in racing the chrome horn put to folks choosing your line, but you can't push your way through without race control usually having some consequences.
Well, right now, McKnight trying to keep the pace up and get back to the front. Louis Mayer way down over the speed humps. He'd like to pick up about 2 spots. He's sitting back there in 5th at the moment with 8 laps left in the event. Gordon Farnham took advantage of the problems that the 76 had when he had contact with the 48, and he's just driving away now, looking at his lap times. Hasn't gotten it down to a 14.9 yet, but he's in the 15.3 area.
Farnham stretches out a 4-car length over Kevin Clayton and Christopher Sontag in the 12. Just Aslan looking to get that 7 in the groove. And Dave, as you said, the 69 of Mayer, holy moly, he was trying to straighten out the speed bumps over here on the ends.
And he's going to pack him down again as he comes off the corner, and still not able to make up any ground. Aslan's had his troubles trying to be competitive. He said today he thought he had it kind of squared away. The only thing in his way of a podium finish is the 12 of Chris Cameron right now. Whoa!
Oh, Louis Mayer
playing a rat-a-tat-tat on the Aslan back bumper, and that didn't help him a bit. Meanwhile, the 46, Kevin Clayton, in the 48 running first and second. And we've got already, we're down to 2 laps to go. Gordon Farnham looking to roll to his 7th win of the year here on the High Banks this season and add to his point total in the region and then prove his advantage in the national championship for Division 4 cars. White flag coming up next time by. It's Gordon Farnham, Kevin Clayton, Chris Sontag, Jeff Aslan, Louis Mayer, Cameron Sontag, and Kevin McKnight, the 76 for Jeff Heath, and Tim Griffith in the 25. Here, the twin checkers for Gordon Farnham. Taking a win again with Kevin Clayton second, Chris Sontag third, 7 of Aslan goes to the 4th spot. Louis Mayer rolls into 5th. And then it was Sontag, Kevin McKnight, Jeff Heath rounding out the field, along with Tim Griffith. 7 wins now for Gordon Farnham. Added to his wins and top finishes in the other tracks in the New Hampshire Short Track Racing Association. Kevin McKnight fan club giving him a hand because he did, after all, have a really good run until he got tangled up. And as soon as we get the paperwork down there, or should I say the flag work, Gordon heading around the track for his victory lap this time. Take a little more time than we did here last week when we were chasing rain and a late start to the night and we were rushing through everything. Tonight we're trying to take our time. Next up will be the Street Stock 50 lapper.
All right, we're here with our 3rd place finisher tonight. Christopher, you started out front. You look good. It was working on the outside for you. Looks like you had a good challenge for him, but just couldn't get there.
Yeah, well, the entire year, around the middle of the year, we've been having trouble with this car ever since we hit the wall a little bit. But just today, it's been running amazing. You know, the car really loves the cool weather.
So weather makes a factor for sure, temperature, and even that suit. You don't look like you have a cool suit on, buddy. No AC in that helmet.
I'd say the weather definitely does work for us, the cool weather.
All right. Who helped you get it here, Chris?
Mom, Dad, Jake, Cam, Chris, McTaggart, Sontag Pump Company, Ragwell Company, and James Monroe Wiring Cable.
Great job. Christopher Sontag in for 3rd. Well, Mr. Clayton, you've had some interesting deals from different standpoints. Lost an engine, had some stuff come apart. It looked a little awkward out there. You're holding right now the 2nd spot for tonight. Who helps you get it here, and who do you want to talk to?
I got to thank my sponsors, Alexander Sheet Metal, JICAL, Irving Gas Stations, my girlfriend Val, Gordon Farnham. He helped set up the car, and I'd like to apologize to the McKnights. I didn't. It is what it is.
All right, Kevin Clayton. Well, Gordon, we seem to meet a lot down here. It looks like we had a bet upstairs, and when you were going to actually take over the lead, but nobody won it.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. No one was winning that bet tonight. The 48 and 76 will hold me up pretty good. I know Kevin was trying his hardest to get around that 76, but I think I caused that wreck there. Sorry to McKnight. I just had to help Kevin get some motor underneath him. They want to race in 2 lanes instead of 1, so that's what happens sometimes.
Gordon, who helps you get it here, and who keeps it running this well for you?
I just got to thank all my crew down there. They bust their asses every week on this car, so thank them guys. Swansea Oil, Phillips Designs, hard color powder coating. I think that's it.
That's it. Gordon Farnham in victory lane.
Well, Gordon continues his march toward a regional championship and a track championship, and he hopes a national championship when it's all said and done. That's a little bit more out of his control, but you never know how other guys who are also going for that championship do at their respective tracks. Next up will be our street stock. This is a title pack event. It is the Teddy Bear Pools Triple Crown. Our thanks to the guys at Teddy Bear Pools down in the Springfield area. If you need a pool or pool service, they are the folks to go see. See them in the showroom, see them at your home, get it set up. And it is another race in the New Hampshire Short Track Racing Association Battle for the Belt. Those of you who've been here a while know that the belt is just like a WWE championship belt. It is massive and prestigious to win that. And the street stocks, mini stocks, and pure stocks go for a belt. We've got more stuff for the late models and the modifieds. We've got cups there. No belts, but cups. And this will be a belt battle, and it's still a battle for the championship here at Monadnock Speedway, which is not yet settled. So coming into the street stocks tonight, Tim Wenzel is our point leader over Keith Johnson and Hillary Renault, Kenny Thompson and Dan Robinson. You look up at the Teddy Bear Pools and Spas top 10, and it's Keith Johnson ahead of Jeff Rollins, Tim Wenzel, Chris Pifoni, and Hillary Renaud. And if you look at the street stock battle for the belt, it changes a little bit with David Greenslit, Justin Beecher, same guys who were fighting it out last season for the battle for the belt, with Jeff Rollins, Matt Sonhalter, and Brandon Gray. Brandon is not here tonight. David, Justin, Jeff, and Matt are, along with Scott Zielinski. And you have to drop way down in the standings before you get to the next guy who decided to come over here and try to challenge for this, and that's Chris Pifoni and Dennis Greenwood, and they're 18th and 19th in that standings. But their advantage is they're going to get points that other guys aren't going to get. The most points gathered so far is only 100, so if someone had a top 4 or 5 finish, they're going to pick up 40, 48 points and jump up the line. So here they come. So this is what you'll be watching as we go for 50 laps. And the guy who's won the Triple Crown race a couple of times has been Tommy O'Sullivan and Keith Johnson. So they're the odds-on favorites here, and O'Sullivan likes to come for the big money races.
All right, so we're going to bring all the street stocks out and let you give a round of applause for your favorite driver as we make driver introductions here tonight at the High Banks of Monadnock Speedway. Everybody's going to get into place. We'll start from the rear and work our way to the front. That field has been inverted for those who don't understand the inversion. So everyone from 6 got shuffled. Thanks to our little buddy Oliver down there. Oliver, thank you for helping me. I really appreciate that. Get everybody in place here. When we introduce your favorite driver, make sure you make the noise for that driver. These guys and gals want to hear from you, the fans, exactly what's going to happen, and they know what to get done for you. I'm not in the middle of the intro. David, you're making way too much fun here. I'm telling you.
Well, it's got to be fun because otherwise everyone would go insane. So we don't want to do that. So here's how we're setting the lineup. As they were scheduled to run, there may be some blanks here, and I note that there are a couple, some for good reason. Starting at the back of the field, scheduled to start but unable to run tonight, the 77X of Tyler Janofsky from Jacksonville, Vermont. Tyler got here but had car troubles, was not able to make it out, but we'll see him here on a regular basis each week as they compete. Started next to him, this would be in the 21st starting position from Orange, Massachusetts in the car 74X. Yep, he's going to drive another car tonight. That's the Bullock Custom machine driven by Cole Littlewood. All right.
All right, next on the grid, David, is the 57, currently in second spot in the battle for the belt. Out of Billerica, Massachusetts, give it up for Justin Beecher. Next on the grid, starting 19th, out of Merrimack, New Hampshire, we see him here in a modified. Tonight he's here in a street stock. That's Jeff Rollins.
Starting in the 18th spot out of Wilbraham, Massachusetts, and he's in the roll for points, and he's often the guy who comes to the big money races. We've seen him here a whole bunch of times. In the 4, that's the regular 4, from Wilbraham, the Rosati Trucking Teddy Bear Pools entry for Tom O'Sullivan. Starting in 17th spot from Alstead, New Hampshire, multi-time winner here at Monadnock in the Duck Gut Club Carl Motorsports machine. That's Kenny Thompson from Alstead, New Hampshire, car 39.
In the next position, position 16, he says he hails from Unity, New Hampshire, the 73 NH, that's Dennis Greenwood. Next, a longtime competitor, we can't wait to introduce this gentleman out of Bristol, Connecticut. Please put your hands together for Joe Arena.
Starting in the 14th spot, one of our regulars here from Westfield, Massachusetts, driving the number 15. That's the Industrial Technical Services Bovats Power Equipment race car for Nate Nunez, car 15. Starting next to him in the 13th spot, out of Belchertown, Massachusetts, joined us mid-season in the Meadows Motor Cars United Ag and Turf entry. That's Colby Kokosa.
In the 2X, next scheduled to start in the 12th position out of Wilbraham, Massachusetts. Put your hands together for Michael O'Sullivan. Out of White River Junction. Good Lord, Dave, I've been there 100 times. Out of White River Junction, Vermont, in the 33 Vermont, that is Matthew Sunhalter.
Starting 10th on the grid from the regular ranks of Monadnock Speedway in car 76 from Winchester, New Hampshire, that's Michael Robinson. Starting 9th, a former champion here, he's come back to run street stocks in number 24 from Irving, Massachusetts. That's Scott Zielinski in the Zielinski Heating and Cooling Machine.
Next starter on the grid in the 88, well known here at the High Banks, got the green glow going in the North Star Deconstruction, Renaud Brother Construction, H&M Auto sponsored King's Electric. She's got them all going out of Vernon, Vermont for Hillary Renault. Next on the grid, a newcomer and rookie out of Winchester, New Hampshire in the 69X. That's Daniel Robinson.
Starting in the 6th position, currently leading points here locally in the points chase for some of the many different championships that are available here tonight. In the 83 from Holyoke, Massachusetts, this is Tim Wenzel in the Valley Recycling Machine. Starting in 5th, in the 97 from Granby, Massachusetts, the Meadows Motor Cars entry for Adam Gray.
Next, in position number 4, out of Belchertown, Massachusetts, in the green and black number 2, the Fairborn Northern Tom O'Sullivan Welding out of Belchertown, that's Chris Pifoni. And your current points leader, Sitting there in P number 3 in the 20, the Vermont Cabinetry Hot Rod for David Greenslet.
And your front row for tonight's 50-lap main event. From Winchendon, Massachusetts, in the 4 New Hampshire, that's a Penny Plumbing KAM Machine Extreme Auto Body entry for Keith Johnson. And on the pole tonight, visiting us from Lowell, Massachusetts, in the 15X, that is the Spectrum Marketing D&L Auto entry for George Baldwin. That's your field. 50 laps is the distance. At stake, the Triple Crown Championship from Teddy Bear Pools. Points gathered for the Street Stock Battle for the Belt and the Monadnock Speedway Street Stock Champion. A lot's at stake. It's going to be a great race. Let's send them off, gentlemen. And lady, start your engines.
You hear those engines fired. Street stocks are in the house. They're going to go 50 laps. That is twice what they normally run. Usually it's a 25-lap feature event. But tonight, the distance is doubled. 2 awards on the line. The Teddy Bear Pool sponsored Triple Crown and our NHSTRA Battle for the Belt. As they come around to do a pace lap, it'll give you a chance to stretch your legs. Stand up. Let's give these ladies and gentlemen the kudos they deserve. Put your hands together, wave to your drivers, and let's give them the send-off that they deserve. Come on, Monadnock Speedway, let's tell them what we hear. Who gets the win? Does Greenslet go through the top 2, or does the 4 of Keith Johnson, or is it the Invader of the 15 of George Baldwin, Adam Gray, Tim Wenzel, one of the Robinsons, Hillary Renaud, who knows, former track champion in the 24, it could be Scott Zielinski. Let your favorite driver know just how you feel about him. All right, field's going to be set into position. We knew, David, a couple of holes needed to be filled. Pifone's in his spot. The rest of the field, and you can count on that 4 of Tommy O'Sullivan. He's going to be digging hard to get to the front of this field.
Well, Tommy will want to be on top for darn sure, because he's won the earlier version of this. Johnson's won the other one. O'Sullivan won at least 2 out of 3 and was the champion last year. So this makes this race probably even more important for him. He doesn't have a long way to go. It just depends on how much room he gets to run in. You've got George Baldwin, who looked very good up front in this qualifying event. We know that Keith Johnson has a comfortable way around the racetrack. David Greenslet always rises to the occasion in the championship event. Pifoni was on the podium last Saturday night here. Hillary Renaud is going to try to beat them all with one arm, while she still has her, she has had the hard cast off, but she's still got a soft cast on her arm, so driving is still not the easiest thing to do. The guy who's got the long way to go is going to be the 4 of Tommy O'Sullivan, because he's starting way at the back of the field, not up in the top 4 or 5 where he has been in previous races.
And who knows, maybe the DeSourcy 74 comes to life tonight with Cole Littlewood behind the wheel. And your second point runner right now in the battle for the belt is starting almost dead last. Can Justin Beecher work his way to the front?
Well, Justin Beecher looked pretty good here when we did this race last year. We had the final race of the battle for the belt at Monadnock. We won't this season, but it was David Greenslet and Justin Beecher, and they came in 1-2 with Beecher winning and taking the championship, but Greenslet still went on to win the national championship for his division. So they're doubled up and ready to go racing now. bringing him to the post.
Baldwin setting the pace. Johnson to his outside. David Greenslid in the 20. Chris Pifoni to his outside. Green flag being pointed to the zone. Green flag is out, and we're underway for 50 laps.
Baldwin takes him down into turn 1. Johnson fighting with Greenslid. Greenslid looks inside, coming down the backstretch. Greenslid going for the top right off the bat. A lot of traffic down in the back as they start to shuffle the deck. Your leader coming off the corner is Baldwin. Then Greenslid and Johnson, 1, 2, and 3.
3 wide on the backstretch. They were jamming it around, and Kobe Kokoza in the 0-0. Almost ended up an early victim, but he did such a great job maintaining control of that car. Oh!
Trouble in turn 3 as the 73 and 76 come together. Dennis Greenwood had trouble with that corner all during practice, got up too high. The 76 of Robinson under pressure spins out, brings out the caution on the 3rd circuit here today.
Doesn't appear to have any damage. They were all checking up, trying to get through 3 and 4, and David, you were right. The 73 just can't seem to get the handle on that. Hopefully he gets some more seat time here and gets the high bank figured out. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, as any of the competitors would tell you, are night and day for sure.
Night and day, and it's 22 degrees all the way around in turns 1 and 2. Pretty even in, pretty equal out. Coming into 3, you're coming in at 17 degrees, but it flattens out to 13 degrees coming off the corner. And that's going to bring your car wide. You've got to come down into that and stay low. Very few guys can run up above that second set of dotted lines and come off of there successfully and without scraping the wall. And that's a wall that doesn't have any give to it. We don't happen to have safer barriers here at Monadnock. So when you slam it, you slam it. You don't send styrofoam all over the place.
Holy moly, I've seen some awesome hits into that wall, David, and guys have really torn up some race equipment over the years, but it is very much, like you say, not forgiving at all. Race control's resetting the lineup. They say it looks pretty good. The field should be given one more lap, and we're going to go to double up. Kenny Thompson, maybe the sleeper back there in the 39. Kenny's had some great runs here as of late. He's been really methodical. He's waited his time out. He times that car great, and he's been doing such a great job this year.
Well, some of the guys you would expect to see up front after about halfway. I mean, this is 50 laps. There are drivers, as we all know, who want to get to the front and stay there. And they may take a little more, put more pressure onto their tires, and tire management in a 50-lapper here is pretty critical. So the guy who is hanging back the first half of the race and then turns the wick up, if he's still within shouting distance, and if they happen to be lucky enough to get a caution or two, can jump from 10th to 6th or 7th to 3rd and be near the podium when we come down to the final 10 laps of the race.
You look in the back of our field here and you may say, those guys don't look like they're doing so much. You've got a crafty veteran in Jeff Rollins in that 02. You've got a great competitor in the 57, David, which we'll see in a modified tomorrow, Justin Beecher. But you know what? You can't count out Tommy O'Sullivan. He made mistakes the last time he said he was here. Got too racy too early. He almost destroyed that car, and it put him out of the event. We're back. Pace truck is going to send him the next time. He'll be sent off the track. But I think Baldwin and Johnson are going to pull this line like no tomorrow.
They're going to be going at it. You've got David Greenslit starting on the inside position in 3rd. That can give him a chance to slip underneath Adam. But Adam has had his days here at Monadnock too. It's just a matter of whether he can control his energy. They're rolling down the backstretch now, getting ready to restart lap number 2. Almost thought it was up to 3, but it wasn't. We got 1 lap in the books before that mishap had. Coming down to the restart zone. They're in the zone. They're at the green line. Green is out. Baldwin gets a good jump off the line, takes him down the front stretch. Jumping into second spot is Johnson. Trouble down the front stretch. We pile up a bunch of them, one of whom is O'Sullivan. 5 cars wrecked right off the bat as they come off the corner hard on the restart of lap number 2.
Lots of heavy contact in the middle of our field for sure. Everybody trying to check up, but there are some of the heavy hitters stuffed in the middle here. The Robinsons, Tommy O'Sullivan. It does look like Mike O'Sullivan is involved as well. Beecher, your second place standing in the points for the battle, is pinched between them.
And it looks like Mike O'Sullivan is the other one in that mix. There should be 5 cars, 76, 69, 4, 57, and 2X.
Folks, we know you're concerned about the drivers, but we ask you to stay away from the fence, please. You got steam coming out of the 76. You don't know what's going on there. It could prove dangerous to you, for sure.
Please folks, step back from the fence now. Now. Back from the fence now, please. It's not that important. Please sit down.
We would definitely not want to get any of you fans hurt for something happened to one of these cars, for sure. Please step back from the fence.
Everybody pays to see the race. Don't block their view, please. Stay in your seats.
EMS workers look like they're diving in the window of the 76 here, trying to probably relay some equipment or making an attention to that driver.
He was the last car in and got into the back of the 4 of O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan's into the side. So we'll be a few minutes here. So the first car to go on the hook here to get them separated will be the 69.
So Daniel Robinson will be the first one off. They were tending to his brother Michael in the 76. That seems to be the biggest concern. Track officials, track safety people have checked on the other drivers. They appear okay, but they're attending to Michael Robinson right now in the 76. That's their priority. Track crew definitely picking up all the water, looks like dumped out of the 76.
Not a groove you want to have water in, because that's where everybody comes out. Off the corner, runs wide up near the wall. That could be a little slippity, slidey later on, but we'll have to wait and see. A couple of the cars have welded together. This will be an extended cleanup. Might be a time to take a swing back to the concessions at this moment. Well, just a quick reminder, again, we'll be back here in action on Sunday at noon. If you have a wristband on your equipment right now, then you can, on your hand, you may bring that with you on your arm for $5 off the admission for tomorrow's Mud Bog. Chris Allen and the guys will tell you all about what's going on down there, keep you posted on the information necessary. And they'll be back again in September for the next round. We do have them on the gurney and loading them in. There will be additional medical folks coming to take care of things. My co-announcer, Randy, is down there, not to check on it, but Randy is himself a trained EMT. Spent many years doing that. Says to clean up down here. Everybody else out and okay. We'll do the service vehicle shuffle here and get everybody squared away so we can move things moved around. The ambulance guys will be attending to the issue in the pits. We'll have an update when it's appropriate. Meanwhile, the 2X goes on the hook on the way out. 21 cars started this event. 21 were scheduled to start. 20 actually made the start. Actually, 22 were scheduled. To correct myself, we've got 21 that took the green. We'll still continue with 16. It's possible one or two of these could come back out of the pits after repairs. Clearly a pretty considerable amount of fluid fell on the track. The guys are out cleaning it up with a shovel, for those of you who can't see what's going on. Just a quick checkup on the standings for the Teddy Bear Triple Crown, which is the major portion of this race. Keith Johnson still in competition. Jeff Rollins sits back there. Tim Wenzel. Chris Pifoni is in the event. Hillary Renault still on the track. Tommy O'Sullivan, however, got caught up in all of that. As did Justin Beecher. As far as the Triple Crown goes, O'Sullivan is involved, Beecher is not. Beecher is involved with the battle for the belt, and this is going to hurt him, although there are more races coming. Greenslet still in, Rollins, Sonnheiser, Brandon Gray, not here. Scott Zielinski is. That should help him move up into the top 5 when this one's all over, if he has a good day. Well, one last car to be removed, Tommy O'Sullivan's 4. Damaged both rear and front. Any updates that we'll need to get? Randy is taking care of things in the pits right now. He'll fill us in if it's appropriate. One more feature to go. When we're done with this, the late model Sportsman will be closing the card off tonight. Next week, another quick reminder, when you are ready to come to the racetrack, the Super Modified Atlantic Charter Series will be here. 350 Super Modified Atlantic Charter Series. These are not the big blocks, but they are fast and fun to watch. Open-wheeled, open cockpit, winged supers will be here along with the Exit Racing Pro Truck Challenge. Nestor Modifieds will be on the card the following week. It'll be the Nestor Mini Stock Battle for the belt and the Exit Racing Pro Truck Challenge, along with our modified street stocks, late model Sportsman, mini stocks, young guns. That's going to be a busy weekend, August 7th. And on September 4th, Labor Day weekend, the Pro 4 Modified Paul Roche Memorial, along with the Saturday night regulars here at Monadnock. Always nice to have the Pro 4s here and to celebrate one of their own with us. The open track party, as Randy has alluded to, is on Saturday, the September 10th. It's an annual event we like to have. We'll also have the late model Sportsman race for the ring that week. So there'll be a whole lot more going on if you can make it. Get down trackside, get autographs from drivers, meet them person to person, see the cars from the inside if you want to get inside and take a look at it and see what's going on. We'll have all divisions that are here that night lined up right along the front stretch. And guys and I will be down there with the mics, talking to the drivers, getting their thoughts. Sometimes some of the ones who don't get to be on the podium a lot and still have some ideas about what's going on and talk about their season.
Well, folks, just to have a quick update, Michael Robinson, possible neck injury, so they're taking him out as a precautionary measure right now. He was alert, conscious, talking to EMS providers, which is awesome. Also checked Tommy O'Sullivan out for whiplash related after his crash into the pile. Hopefully we can get back under competition. Some of those guys are working feverishly in the pits for sure, but we can't return to competition until the ambulance actually gets in place. So Golden Cross Speedway Safety finishing up. Winchester EMS is down there.
I'm back under green, under yellow. We'll get the field squared away now. We will not race. And look, one of the guys who I think might have been incidentally involved in that is the 74 of Cole Littlewood, followed by Speedway Safety Services and A-Plus Towing and Recovery. So it looks like we're beginning to return to a little bit of normalcy here as the transfers taking place. One lap officially in the books. Restarting the restart of lap 2.
Tommy O'Sullivan will not return to competition tonight. Hopefully Beecher, some of the others can get in. Our prayers and stuff go out to Mike Robinson. Hopefully it's just a racing incident and he will recover and be treated at Cheshire Medical and be back to his family soon.
Meanwhile, we got Speedy Dry to knock off the track, get guys backed up. The tires, of course, have all cooled off. That changes everything from racing conditions. If you have a quick caution, the tires don't cool very much, but this is a major caution, and it's almost like you sat in the pits for a while and had another race before you come back out on the racetrack. So strategy is going to change some.
Maybe a bit less dangerous this time. We got Kason Aho celebrating a golden birthday, 13 years old today. 13. I don't think I can remember 13, Dave. Been a couple of days. But happy birthday, Kason.
How old is 13? When does that happen?
Folks, thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for giving us time. Thanks for letting the folks at Speedway Safety do their job. We'll get everything back positioned here, and we'll get underway for our 50-lap feature event for our street stocks. And David, thanks for covering for me so I could pull double duty. I sit up here as an EMS provider thinking to myself, I got to go help. And David covered for me while I did that.
Well, you and Mark Beaudry both, who's doing the video for today. I could feel the energy of we got to be down there. We got to get down there.
Gotta go. Sorry.
Got to do something. And in this case, that's certainly justified. Chris Horton's looking them over, making sure the Speedy Dry area is cleared off, getting them in close to the wall. Beecher is back. in the 57. He has joined the back of the field. He'll be pulling in behind the 74. So that gets him back in competition. The good news is that also means he's going to be able to gather points toward the battle for the belt, which he currently is challenging by about 6 points behind David Greenslit, who is going to be right on the back bumper of the 4 of Keith Johnson when we get restarted here, and still have 49 laps to go. Back again, Mike O'Sullivan minus most of his front body work, but he's got the 2X back on the track, so 2 out of 5 have
got
recovered.
half a modified look, Dave. Got to run the old open wheel car on the front. They were down there. They had sawzalls going. I was like, holy moly. I thought they were going to strip the car right there in front of me when I was down in the
we're
pit
doubled
area.
up. It'll be
Everybody knows you can't do that under wreck.
Pace truck bringing them around one more time. 1 lap on the books. George Baldwin and Keith Johnson on the front row. Second row, the 20 of David Greenslit. And the 97 for Adam Gray, the 2 of Chris Pifoni, the 83 of Tim Wenzel, the 88 of Hillary Renault, the 33 for Matt Sonhalter, and 9th and 10th right now, the 24 of Scott Zielinski, and the 00 for Colby Coco.
Goes a dirt track driver
Cody
here
Coco.
joining us as a rookie this season here at the High Banks and on asphalt. Here they come. They're setting the style. Baldwin, Johnson, who's going to take the green and jump to the front? It's Baldwin. And Greenslit taking the inside groove. Greenslit to the inside of the 4 of Keith Johnson. Chris Buffone right on that back bumper of the 20. And Adam Gray in the 97. Hillary Renault just did a great job to get past Tim Wenzel. She dives under Gray and is going to look to go to the front.
Working to the front. Up front it is Baldwin. Taking a high line through turns 3 and 4. Dropping down low. Greenslit. Johnson on his dropping back. Buffoni has moved into 3rd, slamming her way up through there. The 88 of Hillary Renault underneath Keith Johnson, and running in 6th spot right now, Tim Wenzel. Zielinski and Adam Gray fighting together coming off the corner in 7 and 8. 9th to Sonhalter. 10th now is the 02 for Jeff Robin. Trouble with Adam Gray. Spins off the turn in turn 4. He's down on the inside. Caution is out.
George Baldwin, hopefully he didn't heat up that right rear. He was working the top line. That will definitely chew on that right rear, and he's got a lot of laps to continue before we're done with our 50-lap feature event. But David Greenslit looking extremely racy tonight. David, a crafty veteran, former champ. Sonhalter in the 33 of Vermont and the 97 of Adam Gray. Race control is putting both of them to the rear.
Temper, temper, temper. 50 laps is not a time to be thrashing on each other. Watch Adam. He's coming around.
They will go to the tail of the lead lap.
Well, no one's down a lap, so that means unless the guys behind them choose not to take their position, then they would line up in front of them. And it seems like maybe O'Sullivan says, this car I don't think I want to do that with. And as we know, Dennis Greenwood has had a little issue with turns 3 and 4, so he's going to feel safer back there as they get themselves lined up. 4 in the books out of 50.
Dennis Greenwood out of Unity, New Hampshire. Such a great competitor. We talked with him in the pits earlier today. He and his entourage were down there. He says, I'm looking to have some fun and a smart racer. If your car's not handling like it should, work from the back, work where you need to go from, but it's being safe if he's going to stay in the back of the field for sure.
Still always fun to watch the guys who are toward the back of the field who can be contenders as they all get themselves doubled up now. They've got the double up sign, ready to go for the restart this time. Lights out.
David, watch that green glow of Hillary Renault. Boy, she has looked really sharp tonight. She has really battled these gentlemen, banging around of her, and next thing you know, look where she is, right up in the front of the pack.
Rolling down toward the restart this time. Restart of lap 5, working their way into turn 3. It's Baldwin and Green Slit. Green is out. Here they come down the front chute. Baldwin tries to come wide. Green Slit doesn't let him go there. Moving up the inside is Pifoni. Green Slit stuck on the outside. Here comes Wenzel. Then it's Renault with a bang in the back from the 24 of Zielinski, and Baldwin will lead it with Pifoni and Wenzel.
George Baldwin hanging it out in the 15. Oh, Renault gets into the back of Green Slit and sends him weird. Scott Zielinski gets the advantage in the 24.
The 24 on a rail now, moving up. Here comes the 02 of Jeff Rollins as Green Slit slips backwards, whether it's a long wait, change the car setup, or he's just going to wait. We've only got 8 laps, 7 laps complete out of 50. Green Slit may wait for them to use their cars up and be patient about things. Renault went from 4th place back to about 8th place, right behind Johnson.
Jeff Rollins contact with a 24 of Scott Zielinski, banging, and now a push. Rollins around in turn number 2.
And help from Zielinski. Rollins, that did not do him any good. That was a little retaliation again. And so Rollins gets spun. Zielinski probably should be going to the rear as well. That came on lap 9. That is our 4th caution so far.
Heavy contact between the 24 and the 02 for sure. Fighting for that spot. Zielinski looking really solid. Rollins wanting that spot to get away. And now we see what happens. Race control in communication with the 24 and the 02.
And a 24 pulling to the inside. As requested, Hillary moving up. Rollins, as the rest of the field goes on by them. Adams was trying to fight his way out of the back as well. And some of the guys who are been holding back are still back there.
Something told me, Dave, the 39 of Kenny Thompson. He sits there in 5th place. I don't know, just watching the way he was getting around here at the high banks, something told me he's a contender tonight, no doubt.
Well, he certainly knows the track well. He's in the record books this season. His most recent win coming on July 23rd. He had a pair of wins, and then he had another win back on the 11th of June and another win on the 21st of May. So it's not like he doesn't know the setup for the track. And again, be patient on a 50 lap or 25 lap. There's a little bit of urgency if you're in the middle of the pack to get to the front. But at this point, the urgency doesn't kick in until the second Saturday night race, the second half of the race. The last 25 and really the last 10 or 15, if you're close to being in contention, while the others burn tires up and overdrive.
If you're a street stock Battle of the Belt watcher, your next event for these street stocks to complete and see who wins the Battle of the Belt is at the Lee USA Speedway, September 11th. That'll be championship night for the Lee USA Speedway, and also championship crowned for the street stock Nastra. George Baldwin, Dave, he's the sleeper. He comes in, gonna be the interrupter. David Greenslit goes to the outside. Did not look like the 20 wanted to stick on that outside, but knowing the crafty veteran that he is and the former champion, he's going to get that thing dialed in and head to the front.
All right, so double up. Baldwin, of course, hasn't had a whole lot of laps yet. We've only got 8 complete. If we could get 15 or 20 laps strung out here, it could make a big difference in how these guys handle and how hard they run. Right now, they're going to bring it down the backstretch underneath the Advanced Auto Parts scoreboard and look for a restart as they move into the zone. They've got to hit the gas at the yellow line, and there it is, and here they come. This time, Pifoni's right on his bumper, a little contact, and moving up the inside, it's Tim Wenzel. Inside line makes the move. Greenslet dives low to take over fourth spot on the bottom. The leader coming off the corner is going to be Baldwin again.
David Greenslet challenging Chris Pifoni for the third spot. But look at Tim Wenzel in the 83. He's got a lot of laps here, and he's going to make Baldwin work for this win if he thinks he's going to get it.
Baldwin takes him off into turn one as they run bumper to bumper. Tim Wenzel slides off the corner. Pifoni sitting in third. Greenslet up to fourth. In fifth, it's still Kenny Thompson. Keith Johnson moves up. Hillary Renault has Adam Gray banging all over her bumper, and that may cost him if he turns her around. He'll be back in the back of the field again.
David Greenslet seeing the challenge heat from the 39 of Kenny Thompson. Keith Johnson right there in the 4 and back further. All over the back bumper of the 88 is the 97 of Adam Gray.
Gray keeps trying to get underneath, looks a challenge. Wenzel tried to get underneath the 15 of Baldwin coming off of turn 4. Wasn't quite enough room there. He'll set up and run high down the backstretch. If Baldwin makes a slip in a corner, Wenzel can get down to the bottom. Here he comes again. Not quite enough as Baldwin holds him off.
Wenzel heavy into the throttle for sure. His car's working better on the straight stretches. Not in the corners, but he's going to come down into 3 and 4, and Pifoni is going to actually get to him.
Going into turn 1, Wenzel half a car length off the back bumper of the 15. Pifoni hanging back there in third. David Greenslet all by himself in fourth, no one around him. He's got Thompson and Keith Johnson filling out the top 5. 6 is Renault, 7 is Gray. 8 right now is Arena. 9th is Kokoma. And then you've got a bunch of cars moving up, including the 24 and the 02 who are stuck at the back for a while, and they're trying to move up the line now.
Cody Kokoza in the 00 goes wide. Jeff Rollins drops to the inside, takes Zielinski with him, and the battle is further
for
up.
The lead right up front now. Here comes Tim Wenzel underneath George Baldwin. Wenzel side by side off of turn 2, pulls ahead, and here comes Pifoni right up onto the Wenzel bumper, almost literally on the bumper. And as we complete 19, Wenzel is your new leader.
Hung on the outside, George Baldwin in the 15X. Chris Pifoni dives to his inside, looking to run down Tim Wenzel in the 83. But further back, look at the head starting between Thompson, Johnson, Renault, and Gray.
Moving up to try to catch that group of race cars. Here's Gray one more time, gets her turned again, gives her a push. She doesn't let it go, driving one arm. Gray all over her bumper. And here's problems for Zielinski across the speed humps as he trades places with Sonhalter.
Stuffed into the corner, Dave. Sonhalter wanted that spot. Now the challenge is Gray. Oh no, the 15 of Baldwin is blown up.
As everybody blows through the smoke, Baldwin has blown up. He's off the track, and sliding off is the 24 of Zielinski. He got into the gunk that came out of the Baldwin machine. So the lead was 18 laps. The race for Baldwin was 22.
Tough break for George Baldwin. We wanted to see how he would perform here at the High Banks. He had the car juiced up, and now the car, unfortunately, has let go on him. Almost a melee. Scott Zielinski in the 24 did a great job catching it. That car coming into 3 and 4, that thing was like grease. Hillary Renault stalled, it appears like, on pit road, on the entrance ramp.
We'll see what the problem with her car is as the wrecker goes over there. She was doing a masterful job of trying to keep
wonderful job.
Adam Gray off her, and he finally squeezed underneath And just as he got in under her going into turn 3 is when Baldwin blew up on the bottom of the turn, the one place you don't want a car to blow up. And he wisely got it down off the track as quickly as he could. But as a result, we're using up the year's supply of Speedy Dry in one race.
All in one race. We haven't used much Speedy Dry, Dave, throughout the whole season, I don't think, so far. But going to definitely put some down here. I'll try to get the flatbed out for the 15 so that they can get him safely off the track before any more deposits occur. Tough break for Hillary. Hopefully Dan and the crew and all those guys down there waiting for her can see what's wrong with the 88 car. Hillary's done such an awesome job this year, broken arm and all. She's stayed heavy in the competition. I think the 33 and the 24 are having some discussion. Matt really was putting the fenders to the 24 car. Matt's a great competitor, awesome racer, has run with the mini stocks for years. We used to see him compete here on a regular basis and with the mini stock tour. Matt has gone street stocking, and that car is super fast.
Well, he's got the experience on the tracks he's running on because they had run with the mini stocks there. You're just going to add 4 more cylinders and a slightly bigger car, but the tracks aren't any different under those circumstances. Speedy Dry time, the guys are working overtime to get that cleaned up. We'll see what happens with the 24, 33, and the 00. Though I think Colby is not really involved in their discussions, as it were. As everybody circles around here again, 22 out of 50 completed. Restart in lap 23, I think, when the time comes. We're about to complete lap 23, as a matter of fact.
Had a great opportunity, Dave, to set with Kobe Kokoza, the driver of the 00, and his dad. His dad is his biggest fan for sure. Kobe, a great competitor, long time on dirt out at Lebanon Valley Speedway, trying to get a hold of the asphalt ride here. He seemed a little frustrated. He says they keep finding stuff, they keep working, but Kobe and his dad are going to get that 00 to victory lane before this season is over, no doubt in my mind. And if anything pans out, it'll be from hard work. They keep asking the right folks, getting the right folks involved, and Kobe's just a true young gentleman. Very young competitor or rookie here in the asphalt division, coming to the street stocks, and he just does such a great job. And like I said, they're just awesome folks to work with.
Well, if they need help, there's a wealth of knowledge in the Belchertown community of racers, starting with the Gray family and the Pifonis. So if they have questions and they need answers, they're all there. So Beecher looks like he's gone into the pits and come back out to come to the back of the field. So they're adjusting as they go. Meanwhile, we get a push truck out here so we can push George in. Apparently whatever was in the car is now drained out anyway. So it shouldn't be an issue going across the turn 1 as they push him in. Quickly up and over, no dripping, looks pretty good. And we'll get our record guys back in place here. Remember, the guys who have the most at stake right now in the Triple Crown, the Teddy Bear Pools and Spas Triple Crown, will be Johnson, Rollins, Wenzel, and Buffon and Renault. Tommy O'Sullivan is going to lose the points there, and Nunez, if he stays out there for the entire race, could pick up a few points here. Dan Robinson, well, he's out too. Kenny Thompson will gain some ground in the overall points for this one. All right, let's double them up. Forget the goddamn speedy drive. The only guys that affects are on the inside row. Who cares?
The only guys it's going to affect is guys like Maddow and maybe Rollins and all that. Gray will destroy somebody else.
Well, he's been banging on bumpers.
Are they waiting on Hillary? Maybe. He drives just like his old man does. Yeah. All right. Field getting a signal this time to double up. Lineup's in its place.
Hillary, unfortunately, is stuck in the pits right now. As we come down, lights are out, trucks off. Unless she comes charging up over the hill, Hillary is done for the night. Tough break for her in the battle for the Teddy Bear Pools Triple Crown. Here they come.
Tim Wenzel looking to make the strike. Not going to go green that time. Not going to go. Buffon jumps the start. Wenzel is your pace setter. Caution is out, gentlemen, and yeah. The green flag doesn't fly. That doesn't mean you can go. You can see the Wheelman lights around the track here at the High Banks. They'll go green. The drivers know it. Buffon is getting the business end of race control, saying knock it off or you will not continue in competition. Tim Wenzel's going to set your pace. Chris Buffon to his outside. And David Greenslit, Kenny Thompson sets P4. Kenny looking to get the victory here tonight for sure.
All right, we'll see how this works out this time. Wenzel is the pole sitter. He is the pace setter. On the outside, Pifoni, who would like to win. They have had battles back and forth in regular competition here at Monadnock. Now they roll toward the restart zone. Coming down in there. Once again, Pifoni slides ahead, but it's a little bit more even. Wenzel drops low. They run door to door down into turn one. The rubble little hub coming off the corner. Wenzel takes him up high. Here comes Greenslit. He's back up to third spot. Pifoni can't drop into second. Your leader coming off the corner is going to be Tim Wenzel.
David Greenslit dropped the hammer down, looking to get underneath Chris Buffon. Not going to happen this time, but Greenslit's car and that 20 has come to life. Vermont Cabinetry, his main sponsor, does such a great job. David is dominant at the Claremont Motorsports Park. Says he loves the High Banks here. Wants to get to victory lane. Kenny Thompson and Jeff Rollins, along with Zielinski and Gray, battle for the position 6, 7, and 8.
Gray sliding up near the wall, came down into the side of the two. Could have turned him right there on the front stretch if he hadn't been careful. He's stuck with Sonhalter and Zielinski holding him to the outside, while Wenzel and Buffoni start to pull away from Greenslit and Johnson, going down here to complete now on the second half of the 50-lapper. We are running on lap 27. It's Wenzel, then Pifoni, Greenslit, Johnson, and Jeff Rollins has moved into fifth.
Zielinski looking to challenge now, third spot. Johnson goes underneath Greenslit. He's going to tag that in and take the third spot. Jeff Rollins right there in Greenslit's back bumper. He is racy here at the High Banks, looking to make things happen. But Sonhalter and Gray still battling in the back.
Gray using that bumper to tap the left rear and move him around a little bit and get him upset. He does it again going into turn 4. Sonhalter holding him out there as Gray taps his way to the front and then runs him up the banking. As they do that, look, something's going on here. Jeff Rollins way up on the outside. Greenslit running behind Johnson in second. Rollins trying to run high on the racetrack. Doesn't have the running room there for him. As your leader comes down here to complete 31 circuits, it looks like Tim Wenzel may be able to run away with this if there's not another caution.
Tim Wenzel stretching out the lead. Chris Buffon right there in second. Keith Johnson, David Greenslit now going to have a rear view mirror full of Jeff Rollins. But here comes our crafty winner multiple times, Kenny Thompson in the 39, but here the veteran in the 24, Scott Zielinski, as Sunhalter and Gray are still beating on each other.
Had a thought of trying to move Gray over, but wouldn't have been an appropriate time to do it. Meanwhile, Tim Wenzel is cruising ahead of everybody. Unless there's a caution, he may have his shot at it. Johnson in the hunt for it. He was the point leader for the Triple Crown coming in. Jeff Rollins was in second, and Wenzel was third in points. They are very close together. They're not going to gain a lot if they finish this close to each other.
Jeff Rollins in the 0-2 drops to the rumble strips last time by, here out of 3 and 4, trying to get around David Greenslit. Not going to get it done that way. Gets to him this time. Can he make a challenge? But they're both gaining ground on Keith Johnson in the 4.
Greenslit doesn't figure in the Triple Crown Series. He does figure in the battle for the belt, and so he's going to bide his time. His nearest competitor is Beecher, way behind him. Rollins is also right close to him. If he can stay ahead of Rollins, he maintains that point lead over both of them. Right now, it's more a matter of the Triple Crown. We've got 12 laps to go.
12 to go. It could be anyone's race for sure, but right now Tim Wenzel holds the top spot. Chris Pifoni, Keith Johnson. Do the tires come in as they get closer, or do we just stop giving any room and we look to make to the challenge? It's everyone for themselves, and they're going to make it happen any way they can.
10 laps to go now as they come across the stripe. Complete lap 40. Wenzel with a half a straightaway lead on second place. Chris Pifoni, third place Johnson, another half straightaway back. Then it's David Greenslit, Jeff Rollins, Kenny Thompson 6, Zielinski 7, 8 is Adam Gray, 9 is Sonhalter, and 10 right now is Joe Arena.
So great to see that 74 car. Great competitor, a long-time runner. Waterford Speed Bowl used to be his home, but this track, he says, I really love the high banks. Challenge coming back. Sunhalter back to Gray on the 97. He's been sawing that back bumper, looking for opportunity. Kenny Thompson in the 39 gets loose out of 2, and Scott Zielinski looking to make that gap close even closer.
Well, as those two battle for 6th spot, your leader coming down off of turn 4 to complete 44 with 6 to go. Tim Wenzel on top. Chris Pifoni running second. Keith Johnson sits in the 3rd spot. Johnson holding on to enough points by the looks. He would finish actually in a tie with Wenzel, because that's a 6-point differential between 1st and 3rd. 2-point drop-off in the point standings. We'll have to get the official lineup on that when they come down. Less than 5 to go.
Zielinski making the challenge to the 39 of Thompson. Dives to the inside. Kenny slips up. They make heavy contact. Zielinski's going to take that spot. And here comes Adam Gray to make one more challenge at Thompson as well. But Matt Sonhalter working the outside may use that to his advantage.
That may have some effect on how this race finishes, the way they're banging and thrashing back there. The leader's coming down the backstretch now. He's going to have 2 laps to go. Passing flag is out. 2 laps to go as they cross the stripe.
Contact between the 33 and the 97. Sonhalter just gave Gray the boot coming on the backstretch. I don't think we're done yet. We're going to get the white flag for Tim Wenzel this time by in heavy, heavy traffic. Field got to 49. Tim Wenzel in the 83 looks to make the victory and will take the checker. Chris Pifoni in for second. Keith Johnson, David Greenslit, followed by Jeff Rollins, Scott Zielinski, Kenny Thompson, and Adam Gray, Sonhalter, Joe Arena, Mike O'Sullivan, and Cole Littlewood, along with Kokoza and Nate Nunez. What a spectacular event for sure. Tim Wenzel got to the front, jumped out, and stayed there. He had his car dialed in, ready to roll, making the high banks look simple for a lot. Chris Pifoni in for second spot. And Keith Johnson in on the podium. We're going to send a trackside to Dave Sutherland.
First man out, last week's main event winner, climbing out now, Keith Johnson. Well, you guys made this a really tight contest for the Triple Crown, this Teddy Bear Pools event. You came in with a point lead by 6 over the 2 guys, one of whom finished right ahead of you. So it's either a tie or it's darn tight. How's this feel?
This feels good. This one means something right here. That was a hard-fought race, a good race for the Ford New Hampshire Extreme Racing. Can't thank these guys enough, man. It was that was fun.
That's the best way. That's the best way to put it.
It was definitely hot, but first and foremost, I want to thank my team car owners, Mike and Michelle Davini. Hats off to Chris Mataggart and Bundy. This car is unbelievably fast. It drives just as good the first lap as it does the 50th lap. And Penny Plumbing and Heating, Phillips Design, KM Machine, Pass Automotive, CarQuest, Secor Machine. Couldn't do it without all of those.
There you go. He may be the Triple Crown champ. We'll find out shortly. Meanwhile, Chris Pifoni, darn it, your teammate had some bad luck today, but you were giving them what for a while?
Just didn't have enough. I mean, I can't thank everybody in the pits enough. My dad, my grandfather, everybody that was a part of getting this thing back together for the feature. It wouldn't even start, 2 minutes prior to the feature. So I can't thank all of them enough. And my sponsors, Thomas Sullivan Welding, Stiletto Landscape, OJS, Hams, of course, Teddy Bear Pools, of course, they put this all on, and Sarek Fabrication, of course, Tommy Rosati here to help us, and it was a big night, and we just couldn't get there.
Just couldn't get there, but he got there in second place to be on the podium, looking good. Chris Pifoni picking that one up. The man of the hour, however, got out front. Boy, it was not an easy job getting out front, Tim.
No, it wasn't. Starting 6 wasn't bad. Just got to get to the bottom feed here and just try to, if there's restarts, that's where you want to be. And it just kind of worked out. The 15, he doesn't really race here too much, so he left the bottom open every restart. Once I got down there, I was able to take advantage of that. And then once we finally got green flag laps run, I just kind of ran away with it. So I got everybody that helps out. My dad, Carrie, Ted, Nathan, TJ, Lindsay, Jordan, my wife back at home, my 2 girls, Valley Recycling, Amherst Trucking, Jeans Ford and Chevy, the Fireplace, Vigilio Property Management, and I'm sure I'm forgetting 3 or 4 other people. And thanks for Teddy Bear Pools for putting this on. It's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. Nice to win the Triple Crown event itself. Somebody else is going to win a little money now if you'll reach in there and dig out a ticket. $315, $315 for somebody with ticket number 4821824. 4821824. If that's your number, you got $315 to go spend foolishly somewhere. Congratulations to Tim Wenzel. We'll get the complete rundown on the Triple Crown, who's the champ and who isn't, after 3 races. We have 1 more to go tonight.
You are correct, Dave. Late model sportsman next, and to end our night here at the High Banks of Monadnock Speedway. Folks, we thank you for sticking around. You've seen some awesome racing.